Hi guys, and welcome to another random rambling of the week. And yes, I know, I will talk about Android and definitely, but other than that, I don't really have too many topics. Maybe I will talk a little bit about the S7 in case you're wondering about that, because my full review won't be out for quite a while. I think I will even make one month later, because I'm already too late for the reviews right now. And why not just take a little bit more time to get everything into the review that I got aware of. So the first thing I want to talk of is Doze. Is Doze just a marketing hype and another Android feature that didn't really pull off? Because on the Galaxy S7 I don't really see anything of that, and a few devices that I had before seem to have sometimes good standby drain, but not what was promised from Doze. So I don't know, it's a hit and miss sometimes. Of course, it's not maybe a stock Android device, and therefore maybe this Doze doesn't work that properly, but even on the Nexus 5X, I didn't notice Doze to be working that well, and often if it works, then you just don't get the notifications. So I would like to know if you have a Marshmallow device, or is Marshmallow Doze feature? Or Lollipop? No, it was a Marshmallow feature. So if you have it, does it work for you? Does it work as advertised? Do you have any problems with it? Because so far, I think it's one of those like features that from Android were announced that just didn't take off as they should have been, and are a little bit more of a marketing hype. So let's talk about Android N. The previous out, I didn't get to play with it because I don't have a Nexus device. And yeah, I know a few people actually commented and said I should just for this specific reason get one. And yes, I would like to, but yeah, that's just not in the stars for right now. But what are my thoughts? And I don't really have any notes, and I will just talk about the things I really found to be great from what I saw in other videos. First of all, what I think is really great, if you pull down the notification bar, you have the really small quick toggles and only the 5 that you need, and if you need more it expands further with a really amazing animation. The animation is really great. I'm still not the biggest fan of this teal cover of Marshmallow in general, and then when I have a device that has a theme engine, I get rid of those colors, because I don't know, the whole material colors are not just my thing, but the animation is really great, and I like that it doesn't take up so much space as it did before. Usually with the drop down on Marshmallow or on even a Lollipop, I was never such a big fan of. I actually preferred what LG did or what Samsung did on their device with just a small tray, and one thing that is really nicely done, and I will talk about that in the review of the S7. If you pull down, you have, and I'm not sure if you can see this, it won't focus, but that's okay. You see the quick toggles, only a few, but if you swipe once again, you actually get all of them. Maybe you can even see this, and this has been nice, and it actually works even with a 2-finger swipe down, which I didn't get to do properly, but if you see, and this is actually the best way solution, and something similar what N will do now again, because it doesn't take too much space if you don't need it, but if you get all the necessary ones and if you need a few more, you can easily access those. So that's a really nice thing. Of course, the new notifications look way nicer. They take up more space, they handle a lot more, they're way more capable. This is definitely something great. One thing that a lot of people are hyping that actually should be a thing already for years is the double tap on the recent apps button to go to the last app. Something that I use with not even root. You don't even need root for that. I use that with Smart Disk Launcher, and I have a gesture for that because it's super handy to switch between the last 2 apps all the time, and I've used that for ages already. And on the S7 I have a really quick gesture where I just, if I show this for example, I just have a swipe over the home button. It doesn't work out properly on the camera, but believe me, I just make a swipe over the home button to the left and get to my last app. So I'm not quite sure what Google needed so long to get this feature. Of course, the new recent apps menu is something that I definitely prefer, because I was never a fan of the rolling card theme, because it didn't really show me properly the app. I didn't really find, or because it looked so cluttered with so many half cut off apps, and this definitely looks a lot better now. Of course, the big thing is multi-window, which I'm not so sure if I would use it that much on a phone. It's definitely nice that we have the option, but on a tablet it definitely makes so much more sense, and then I definitely would like to use it, because I noticed sometimes if I have a device of a tablet and I don't have this feature, I really miss it. For example, on the Huawei MediaPad that I use right now, I have this feature, but it doesn't pretty much work with any app, so it's pretty much useless and non-existent. On the Samsung apps it works on a few more occasions, but once this is a fully Android baked in feature, we can actually finally use it with everything, or at some point once all the apps get updated. That is absolutely great. What else did we see? Let me quickly think of a few optimizations on Doze. I hope they work this time. Other than that, there were a few more things, but I'm not really quite so sure because it's mostly just aesthetical things, and I definitely think it's already making quite of a big difference. Multi-window is great. The new quick settings, they were improved a lot. What I also like to see is, or what will come, is the new improved settings menu where you actually don't see just Wi-Fi but also the information on which Wi-Fi. Same goes for Bluetooth and Webery. These are many minor optimizations, but they really make a big difference, and many say now you don't need custom ROMs anymore, and I kind of agree because that's definitely a cool thing, but it's the small things, because Android by now, did I say almost Windows? Android by now is so polished that only smaller tinkerings are necessary to make it even better. But this in a whole will make it overall so much nicer. And yeah, the unfortunate thing is I don't have a device where I will see it for at least 1 more year or so, because it's not even out yet. It will be released at late this year, maybe in the fall at October, November, and I will get it let's say in 1 year won't even be enough. It will take longer, so that's the unfortunate thing, but it's great to see what is coming. But actually I'm super happy with the S7 software for right now. I have multi-window already, I have nice working. Actually, if I think about it, a lot of the stuff that I would want in Android N on an Nexus device, I already have on a Samsung device. I have dual window, I even have pop-up window, I have a do not disturb mode that works a little bit nicer, I think. I have the quick settings that I already showed that I think are at least all right now, even on par with Android N. And yeah, so I'm actually covered. I don't have a problem with that. So maybe if you don't want to, because that's the thing, everyone complains about Samsung not getting things updated quickly enough, for example N. But think about it, you already have a lot of those features in a different way, not baked into the system on a stock Android level basis, but on a Samsung TouchWiz, which they don't call TouchWiz anymore, basis. So maybe Samsung should get a little bit less flag for TouchWiz, and I want to make a review for TouchWiz on the S7 if I get the time, because I absolutely think the software does a great job, and a lot of the things they did, yes, it still kills app a little bit too early. With 4 GB it feels more like a 3 GB device, but in normal use that's fine. I don't really see that much of, I don't pretty much see any lag or so. The browsers are just not that good. And actually, let's talk a little bit about the S7 before I get to my actual big topic. The S7, I still think it is, this for me is and it's kind of a mini review already, the best feeling phone I've ever had. It's the perfect size for me. Button placement for the power button is great. I got a hold and learned to use the fingerprint reader really well. It's quite nice. I got used to it really well. Display is amazing, even though the one on the A5 that I just reviewed and it is right now processing is pretty much pretty much as good as it is. I did a side-by-side comparison that actually in some details shows a little bit more sharpness, which is quite nice to see, but odd. Battery life seems good enough for me. I can't really say so much yet because I had to take out the SIM, needing to review the other 4 phones that I have left, so I can't say too much. The last cycle was just on Wi-Fi without a SIM card in it. 2 full days, and I got about, what did I get? I think, I just don't want to say something wrong. If I did actually copy it. No, I didn't, but I think it was like 4 hours and 50 or so. So that's decent for 2 days. Of course, there was less drain on the battery during standby. What else? Sound totally solid. It's louder than the A5. It's actually quite rich. Totally fine with me. Performance is absolutely solid. If smooth, extremely buttery smooth. It's super snappy. Gestures, once I actually got used to it, are now even better, and I'm really happy that I have capacitive buttons now. Because usually we would have had the navigation bar and then I couldn't use a lot of them, because now what is really great, I have a hotspot set up right above the power button, and this allows me for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gestures, actually 6 with the long press, and with the double tap actually 7. I can just use this one hotspot to access 7 things. I have one swiping up for the recent apps, one upwards to the left for YouTube, to the right for Studio, To the left, last app. To the right, it's Google Plus. Double tap is for the camera and the long press for standby touch. So I got a hold of all the issues because the long press gestures don't work so well, but I got over this display is great, software is great, the camera is super solid. So this was actually my short review. I like it a lot. I definitely need a lot more time to maybe get aware of some of the annoyances or maybe some of the benefits so far, but I really like it. I'm definitely happy, and I don't see anything actually coming up that I would maybe be jealous of not getting, because the M10, I'm not sure if it, because it's rumors, but they say it could have an AMOLED display, it should have an AMOLED display, also QHD, but let's be honest, it won't have the quality of this one, because I'm pretty sure if it's an AMOLED, it's a Samsung panel anyways, and they will use the best ones in their own devices. And the last one on the A9, for example, was atrocious. It was the ugliest or the worst AMOLED display that I've seen so far. What else? The G5, for me it's a little bit too big, too clunky. And of course the S7 Edge, which is not something for me because I want a smaller form factor, but that one is even better because the better battery life, and if you want a bigger screen, fine. What else? The P9 from Huawei is coming up, but I wanted AMOLED for sure, and that's no option there. And same goes for the Huawei Mi 5 Pro, also not. These are all legit options, and if just sometimes you prefer LCD or so, these are legit options, and some of them could, for you, definitely be a lot better than the S7, but for me, for right now, with the getting used to that I had to go through, which I am now totally, and I'm really liking all the stuff now, it seems to be the pretty much perfect phone for me for right now. So no real complaints. Now, I want to get to my big topic. Sellout YouTubers, viewer focused or views focused against interest focused videos, because I had a little bit, it definitely wasn't an argument, and the guy I'm talking about, I won't mention the name, is a legit guy. He's a really nice guy, he's always nice to respond, and he's a really great guy. But if I see a channel having a video that is called a S7 review with a few other YouTubers, and I see this to be an ad because it was made not for their channels but for an actual shop, don't really want to call out any names, even though I know I'm already an ass that I'm talking about other YouTubers behind the back, but it's just something that did bother me, that did annoy me, and I want to mention that. So they made this video, a bunch of YouTubers, and all they did is talk all the good stuff, like in an advertisement about the S7, and I posted a comment and I said, what did I say? I said, yeah, how much did you actually get paid for? This is more of an advertisement. This is definitely not a review. I got a response that, because they also told a little bit of bullshit that I don't go much further into, because these were marketing slogans that they called out, and definitely only half of the truth. And they called out, it's not true, we did only say that and that. And I said, yeah, okay, fine, but that's no review at all for me. So I definitely wasn't pissed, but I was upset, because then I actually checked this channel, because the one thing that bothered me already for this channel for a long time was one thing. The guy's great, and that's amazing, he makes great videos, but when I just checked, just objectively his content, 50%, or I think it's even more than 50, let's say 60-70% of his content is either sponsored or viewer focus driven, or kind of like an ad like this. I know a lot of people are getting annoyed these days, and I definitely know a few viewers of mine that are annoyed by those 10 best this or top under 50 gadgets and all that, these devices. And I know another YouTuber commented that's not true, but I think that's just to make a quick buck, because they either get out their affiliate codes or their things is sponsored, they get money from that, but they just package it in a different way because they make a lot of different devices in one take. So it's maybe not that obvious, but come on, what else should it be? There are at least some YouTubers like Ed from Texas who makes it official. He does his unlock videos, everyone knows about it. He says That's not for you, that's just for me to get the money so I can make these videos. He also makes those best deals videos where I'm pretty sure he gets them affiliate money from those, and these are nice deals. And he doesn't really talk about or review the devices or the gadgets he shows off in these deals. He just promotes them. He says, look at this, this could be nice, it's a deal. That is fine. But if you cover something up as a review and just make it something like that, or best shit of that and best shit of that, just to get money, is the wrong way. Especially if you do it every now and again, like let's say every 5th or 6th video, even that's a little bit much, but then it's fine. But if you do it like every 3rd video and everything what you do is sponsored, I think it gets annoyed. And I'm blabbering a lot, but this pisses me off, and I unsubscribed and I unfollowed him, but because I just don't see the need for me having this in my subscription list. Because if I want to see advertisements, I watch TV, which I don't watch anymore because I just watch streaming services and all that stuff. So I don't need advertisements on YouTube. It's fine if it's something like on Linus Tech Tips where it does it before the video or after the video. Most times after the video, then it's fine because then it's clearly marked as an advertisement. But if you cover it up as a review, that's something I don't like to get to. And of course, now I'm aware of the fact. Yeah, now you could call me out as being jealous because I don't get deals like that, and at least I can, from my perspective, say 100% legit that I have a good conscience, that I've never done anything that I would be honest, nothing was an advertisement, nothing was anything but a review. So I can live with my good conscience. The others have to decide for themselves. And you could call me jealous, of course I would, but I never would do these things. No. If, then I would call it at least out officially as an advertisement, but then I wouldn't review it. Because you can, in my opinion, either just make an advertisement of something or review it. Doing both? I don't think so. So let me know what you think, because this is also the thing. If this channel, for example, makes a lot of the content, a big part of his content, just about getting views or getting money, is that the right thing? Because I do all my reviews for the fun of the chance to review those devices, or like something like this, share my thoughts and opinions, which is interest focus driven. Because last week I just talked about I haven't done a build log of my PC because it would have been not fun for me to make it. If at some point that changes, that will be fine. But for right now, I only do content that I like to do. And sometimes, for example, I have to still make the German version of the review for the keyboard that I got. And I don't like to make these reviews because it's something that I got for free, and my review was subjective, and I'm not saying anything about that, but just making those, and I will stop that because I don't like to do these videos because the product is nothing worth. I don't even want the product. I just reviewed it, but I didn't want to. So from now on, I won't review any products that I didn't like to at least to use. Because a phone, a tablet, a laptop, all those things I like to use, and then I like to make a review. And I'm pretty much, you noticed that, because these reviews are also very short, all the one-by-one products. They were nice. I gave them my honest opinion, but after review, they just sit here and do nothing. And that's why I will stop doing those. Just not because I feel bad about it, because I still, with a good conscience, can say what I said about those products is legit. But I'm just tired of doing them because these are devices that I just don't use as a geek myself. So I would definitely never do any content just for the views, for the money, or anything like that, even if I would have the chance. Now, let's get to the shout out of the week. I missed one last time, so I have to cover up with two. First one is Emmanuel from Geekception. Definitely check out his channel. He's a fellow YouTuber of mine, always comments on my videos, and I comment on his. Great guy. I really like his positive attitude. He makes really pleasant to watch and satisfying to watch videos, because it's so nice to see someone who's having this real passion about these devices and really knows to show them off, because this is something that I would like to do, because I am passionate about these devices and about the tech, but I'm more of this nitpicker where I'm just looking at the flaws and all the bad stuff to talk about, to give the viewer the best possible opinion, or what he should think of this device if he should buy it. But battery is empty. But He does that really, really nice, and you should definitely check him out. He makes also great reviews because he covers a lot of the details. He covers a lot in an honest opinion, but still in a way nicer to watch style than mine. And the last shout out would be to Jason M, also a fellow YouTuber. Check out his channels. They are both still smaller, but definitely should be rising quite fast, especially Geekception. If I check his quality and his way of doing reviews, I'm almost surprised that he isn't a lot bigger yet. But he's also at school, so it doesn't really make me put out too much consistent content, which I actually think is quite solid for someone who's doing it on the side. Yep, I've covered that. Anything else coming soon? So what is coming soon? I have a few things, and of course the S7 review, even though do you really need it? I talked a lot about it already. Then the Samsung Galaxy A5 review is uploading. You should actually see that before the Rambling. The Rambling will be released on Sunday, I think, or maybe late Saturday. The review of the A5 though should be up. Should have been already up. Saturday. Then the Galaxy A3, which I'm gonna pop the SIM in pretty much right after I've did this video. Then the LG K4, the LG K10, and the MediaPad M210. Which is really, really nicely built and overall good qualities. My title will be Premium Shell with Mid-Range Guts, because that's what it is. I would have really wished for Huawei once to go the full pump in, because what they did is they made everything on the outside great. Build quality, the display, everything from the outside is great, but the guts are just slightly above mid-range, like the Kirin 930. Why not use the 950 or at least the 935? And this would have been an iPad competitor and Samsung Galaxy Tab S competitor with these mid-range guts. It's still a great tablet, but with the price tag actually being above the Galaxy Tab S2 and the iPad, it will have a hard time. So the price will have to drop quite quickly, but I've covered that. What else will be coming in the near future? I don't know yet. That will maybe be something about on the next Rambling. But for right now, I covered it. The video is actually a lot shorter than usually, which is still 22 minutes. But I wish you a super nice weekend, and I wish me a happy, nice, easy editing of this video. Okay, until next time. Bye.